Today we're making these little cinnamon cakes that are incredibly soft and packed with flavor. And the best part is that they're so easy to make. There's no mixer needed at all. We're just mixing everything together, and honestly, I don't think anyone would ever guess they're gluten-free. We're going to start in a large bowl with 2 large room temperature eggs, half a cup or 100 grams of granulated sugar, and 1 teaspoon or 5 grams of vanilla extract. Using a whisk, mix everything together for about 1 minute or until the eggs are well beaten and starting to look a little foamy. A whisk is all you need here, so there's no need to pull out a mixer. Now we're adding 2/3 of a cup or 160 grams of room temperature plain yogurt and 3 tablespoons or 39 grams of vegetable oil. If you prefer, you can use coconut oil instead. Melted butter also works, but I personally like using vegetable oil because it makes the cake softer. Plus, if you store them in the fridge, they stay soft instead of firming up the way butter-based cakes do. Now, sift in 1 1/3 cups or 130 grams of oat flour, 2 teaspoons or 8 grams of baking powder, a pinch of salt, and half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Use a spoon to press down and get rid of any little flour clumps, and then gently mix with the whisk just until the dry ingredients are fully incorporated. Once the batter looks smooth, we're going to set it aside for a moment. In a small bowl, add 3 tablespoons or 42 grams of room temperature unsalted butter. Pop it into the microwave for about 30 to 40 seconds, just until it's melted. We don't want it too hot, only melted. Next, add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Mix until the sugar starts dissolving into the butter. Then add 2 tablespoons of oat flour. I like to add it 1 tablespoon at a time, mixing well after each addition. The goal is to create a slightly thicker mixture. For the baking pan, I've greased a muffin tin with baking spray. If you're baking them directly in the pan without paper liners, make sure it's very well greased so the cakes release easily after baking. Give the batter a quick stir. Then add 1 generous tablespoon of batter to the bottom of each cup. Next, add a small amount of the cinnamon mixture over the batter. Then cover it with another spoonful of batter so the cinnamon layer stays right in the center. To finish, add a few small drops of the cinnamon mixture on top. You don't need a lot here, just a few spots across the surface. Fill each cup only about 2/3 full because the cakes will rise as they bake. Then we'll take a toothpick or skewer and make random circular motions through the batter. Press it all the way to the bottom of the pan so it grabs the cinnamon from the middle layer too. Try not to overdo it though, we want those cinnamon swirls to stay visible. This recipe makes about 16 to 17 mini cakes. For comparison, I also baked some of them in silicone cupcake molds, which work really well for this recipe. Bake them in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius for about 15 minutes. The easiest way to check if they're done is to insert a toothpick into the center of a cake. If it comes out clean, they're ready. Then, run a small spatula around the edges to loosen the cakes and transfer them to a wire rack to cool completely. These are the ones I baked in the silicone molds. As you can see, they pop right out, and honestly, that's my favorite way to make these little cakes. They come out effortlessly and keep a really nice shape. Look at how soft they are. Now, let's make a simple sugar glaze. Start by sifting half a cup or 68 grams of powdered sugar into a bowl. I definitely recommend sifting it to break up any lumps because it makes the glaze much easier to mix. For the liquid, I used a total of 1.5 tablespoons of milk. But here's a very important tip. Add the milk little by little rather than all at once. That way you can control the consistency more easily. If the glaze becomes too thin, you'll have to add more powdered sugar to fix it. Keep mixing after each addition until you get a glaze that's fluid but still slightly thick. If it's too runny, it'll slide right off the cakes and look almost transparent. A good way to test it is to lift some glaze and let it drizzle back into the bowl. The lines should stay visible for about 3 to 4 seconds before disappearing. Transfer the glaze to a small piping bag and drizzle it over each cake in a simple zigzag pattern. Then let the glaze set for about 20 to 30 minutes before serving. These little cinnamon cakes can be stored in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 2 days or in the fridge for up to 1 week. If you enjoyed this easy cinnamon cake recipe, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more easy dessert recipes. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video!